transparent about what people are feeling, you know. Alrighty, everyone. We got about let's see here, 18 to 20, almost 20 minutes in, and I do want to give some updates on current conditions that are going on in life right now. So I want to talk a little bit about life and health update. Doctor tells me no, and training and cycling and where I'm at on those things right now. So let me just go ahead and get rolling into it, everyone. So first of all, life and health updates. Right now I can tell you I'm in pretty good spirit about things. Yesterday, not so much. I think I can think of at least 3 to 4 times as I was thinking about things, I would just like randomly just start kind of tearing up and kind of crying about things. So, and I mean literally a crying, not just a rolling with tear and stuff. Just kind of taken aback and saddened a bit by current knowledge and things like that. But I'm in good spirit. We got a plan on what's going to take place. Overall, I'm good, but there's some things that I need to be concerned about and be thinking about. Okay, so as you know, and I've already talked about it on a previous chat session about this whole blood clot issue that started up about a month ago. Went to the urgent care Sunday of last week, diagnosed as a blood clot. Got in to see with my primary. The primary referred me to a vein surgeon, vein doctor, who I saw yesterday. Very nice clinic, by the way, just very professional, very clean. The doctor and the technician that did the ultrasound, very, very comforting in how they handle you there. Was very, very impressed by the practice there. So into the diagnosis, and as I'm laying on the table, now got to keep in mind, I've been on Eliquis for about a week up to this point. In fact, I've finished what they call the loading dose, which is where you take 2 5-milligram pills. I think it's 5-milligram pills. So you take 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening for 7 days. So now I'm on what they call the maintenance dose, which is you take 1 pill in the morning and 1 pill in the evening. Okay, so essentially what the loading dose is to rapidly get it in there, thin out the blood, and now I'm kind of maintaining what the thinness is. So the pain has gone down drastically since I've been on that. Now, discomfort is kind of come and go on, as far as discomfort. And even pain can momentarily spike here and there depending on, what's going on, what I'm doing. Cycling, as an example, especially doing 2 watts per kilo, doing 3.6 watts per kilo for 5 minutes like I was doing the other day. Not good, okay? It created unfavorable conditions for added pain and added swelling, okay? So they did the scan. The technician's talking to me a lot while asking me a lot of questions while I'm actually going through the whole scan, and I'm just, I'm familiar with this whole process because, like I said, I had one 20 years ago, and I know like where they scan from, all the way from the ankle, all the way up, up into the way they describe it is past the crevice of the groin. So, where the hip crevice is, and, they pretty much come almost up to where close to your junk, essentially, if you want to call it that. Okay. So the doctor came in, nice guy. I kind of hate him right now, and I like the guy. Okay. He let me know that the blood clot is actually much more significant than what I even led myself to believe. Okay. My first impression when I was diagnosed with a blood clot a week ago is that it wasn't very big. My thought was that it was only like 3 to 4 inches, and there was traces of it down in my knee and down towards my calf. But that's not the case. The simple fact is that the blood clot goes all the way from just behind my knee, all the way up past the crevice in my hip and up, coming up close to my junk. Okay. So I actually pulled up a picture here just to kind of, let's see here. I think it's this screen here. So this here, if I could just use this to demonstrate, because this is the kind of close to the chart that the doctor had as he was describing me where this thing actually goes. So essentially the clot starts right here in the popliteal artery, so right here behind the knee. It comes all the way up this right here, which is called the femoral artery, and then you have this up here, which is called the femoral common artery. So common meaning where everything comes into and joins and then goes out the leg. Okay, so the blood clot essentially starting back here behind the knee, coming all the way up here, all the way up into here. Okay, and one of the things that they're concerned about is that I have what they call a flapper, and I'm familiar with that term flapper. When somebody says flapper, that means you have something, to me, like if you picture a power steering hose or something like that, and the rubber, the interior of the hose, like kind of shreds or breaks off, you get what you call a flapper. So in other words, so things are flowing, but the flapper can kind of come down and restrict flow. Okay, so essentially, I have a flapper there. Yeah, nearly loose. So that's an area of concern. Okay, which is why I got to go back next week to get another ultrasound so they can monitor this entire blood clot and kind of pay attention to what's going on there. Hey, Yeti NLB. So, yeah, this is just talking about current state here. So that's how long the blood clot is. So all the way from popliteal, behind the knee, up to the femoral common, and all the way up. And this explains why I feel the pain, or not so much pain, because you got to remember, pain has kind of subsided, so it just kind of moved to discomfort. So I feel at times discomfort from all the way behind my knee, down into my calf slightly, into my leg, and I sometimes kind of feel it in my gut. Okay, that's kind of where I feel it. So that explains a lot, knowing a lot more about how long this thing is, because I had no idea. 20 years ago, the blood clot in my calf was only 6 inches long. Only. It was 6 inches long. When I was at the ER or the urgent care last week and they diagnosed this thing, I was only at the impression that it was only like 4 inches long. When I went to go see my vein doctor yesterday, I come to find out this thing is essentially going from my knee all the way up to my groin. Okay. Loss of power in the leg. Let me talk about that, because that's kind of part of this subject. Okay. Hang on, let me get a drink here. So, loss of power in the leg. To answer that, the question is no, Yeti, because you got to keep. If you go back and look at my VODs, I was on Zwift on a daily because I'm on this training plan for USA Cycling Nationals in January. Okay. So I've been riding consistently, and if you've seen any of the streams, you could see that I'm complaining about leg pain. But power, I can put all the power down. In fact, there were a couple of times I did some 1100 watt sprints, and got sprinter jerseys and things like that. And trying to stay in my zones. Now the race that I did last Saturday, if you all were there or anybody recalls, or even the ride that I did on Monday, my calf cramped up. Well, come to find out, it wasn't even that my calf cramped up. My leg swelled and went into pain because I'm essentially going race pace in this crit for 3 to 4 laps, pushing out watts, trying to keep up with everybody. And it wasn't even really that hard to keep up with everybody. It's just I was putting down watts. The problem is that I'm sending a mass of blood circulation through my body and nothing is returning. And that is why my calf went into pain. So what felt like a cramp was not so much a cramp. I'm creating pressure down there and so forth that my leg should not be doing right now. So that, in effect, is how it's affecting power, is that I'm doing stuff. Yeah, it did swell up. In fact, if I'll actually pull up a clip where I was actually demonstrating on my ride on the Monday, where it was either Monday or Tuesday. What's today? Today's Wednesday. So I think it was on Monday. I was riding and I was putting down some effort and my calf swelled up to the point where every time I'd come around with a pedal stroke, it was brushing, just barely swiping the bottle cage coming around. Now I normally have very large calves. So if you know anything about me, I'm a very large cyclist. I got large legs, large muscle mass. I'm 6 foot, 200 pounds, carry a lot of muscle. So I'm doing things that essentially shouldn't do. Okay. So the doctor gave me the diagnosis. Okay. So we kind of get into specifics about, Team Big Calves. Love it. So let's talk a little bit about plan of care now, okay? Because I had to get into very specific questions. Now, keep in mind, y'all, we're still in the diagnosis phase of trying to figure out how, why. There's not a lot of explanation for it, kind of like the last one. We have an idea why I got the one 20 years ago, but there was no conclusive results as to why I got it. My blood tests were normal, no hereditary blood disorders. I think factor V is the term that keeps coming up. So he's going to send me to hang on, I notice I keep peeking in the red here, so I wonder if I turn my gain up just a tad too much. All right, so plan of care. I got to stay... I'm going to try to say all this stuff without getting too emotional about it, because yesterday was my big day of emotions going through my head and my body. Okay, so a couple things that are a little surprising to me are the fact that my doctor said that I'm probably going to be on Eliquis for life. Okay. And that's simply because, as he stated, protocol today is that if somebody has had more than one blood clot in their life, that they generally have to go on some thinner for life. Okay. So even though the other one was 20 years ago, that one cured up in 30 days and I was off of thinners. It was recommended that I take aspirin for life. Okay. Today he's saying that more than likely I'm going to be on thinners for the rest of my life. And then I asked him, I said, doc, I said, hey, look, ER doc, my primary doc, which was not really my primary doc, it was a substitute doc because my primary doc was called in sick that day, so they had a substitute in to get me in. But nobody, I told him, I said, nobody has really discouraged me from riding my bike yet, so I'm still doing it. I'm still kind of putting down efforts and trying to train in what capacity I can. And he goes, well, I'm going to be the first to discourage you from doing it. And he says, in fact, you need to stay off the bike for a couple of weeks till we figure out a little bit more what's going on and get, especially with this flapper all the way up into the growing area, we want to keep track of that and monitor that. So the shock hit me when he said that, because I think I needed someone to tell me no. I promised I wasn't going to do this. He told me that I am not going to be doing national championships in January. So I think, I've had a lot of people over the last couple of weeks tell me the things that I don't want to hear. And that was one of them. But I know that I needed to hear it, that I needed to stop. And I stopped to ask him a clarification question because, here's me, the guy that doesn't know how to quit races, just doesn't know how to stop. I said, hey, can I ask a clarification question? I said, you said that I need to stop. So does that mean like I shouldn't be on at all? Or can I get on and just do a zone 1 and just pedal? And he said, can you do a zone 1? And, I kind of laughed about that because I kind of get the sense that he's a type A personality as well. And, he coaches a girls cross country team. And so he kind of gets the mentality of a competitive nature, A-type competitive nature that doesn't know how to stop, doesn't know how to quit. So it's a funny way for him to state that, can you do a zone 1? So, which I knew exactly what he meant, is that will I do 30 minutes and stay in zone 1 without feeling like, oh, I feel good, I'm going to do let's do a frickin' sprint. let's go get a Sprint jersey. You know, I know exactly what he was saying. So, so in any case, I need to stay off the bike. Okay, so I won't be doing Zwift for no. Well, let me say that with clarification. I don't want to say I'm not going to be doing Zwift because I think some of you, if you've seen some of my Twitch streams in the past, especially when I do the WTRL League, the duathlon series, where you do 15-minute bike and transition to a 5-minute run. I do have a treadmill in my gym, my home gym, and I've done Zwift, you know, on the treadmill before. So and he encouraged me to do walking. I need to do a lot of walking. Okay. So I will still be on Zwift. It's just going to be walking on the treadmill for, 30 minutes or so. So that might be the extent of what I might be doing for the next couple of weeks. Just till I get further diagnosis on, what I do from here. So that's all about the doctor that tells me no. So the first doctor to tell me no. And, rightfully so. I needed to hear it and I need to do it. So obviously that's going to impact training, cycling, this whole ERL, the Echelon Racing League series that's going on. So I won't be in the race on Sunday. I'll probably be watching though because one of my best friends, my buddy, he is racing the B race. So I'll be definitely watching the Zwift community live and watching and cheering him on. But USA Cycling Championships is out the door right now. So I'm going to kind of have to go on the idea that I got to participate the last 2 years. In fact, I made the podium last year. This medal right here is the medal from that race last year. Esports, February 2023 National Championships. It's a 5th place medal, but all national events go out to 5th place. So I got a medal. I got on the podium, so I get to kind of ride on the fact that I did get to participate. I made the podium, and so we just turned all this into a positive. So that's it on training and cycling. Doctor tells me no. Let's see here. I missed a question here. Not being able to bike in the future, though, right? No, not in the future. It's just right now. He said at least a couple of weeks. Okay, so. And that is just because I do need to be cautious about not doing more than I should is the biggest thing. Because, like I said, I can the 2 times that I went harder than I should have, and the calf swelling, like I said, was not necessarily a cramp. It was the effects of just doing something that I shouldn't be doing. So we're just going to look at it as, like he said, a couple of weeks that I can't do it, and we'll be walking. He didn't discourage upper body workout, so I'm going to be in the gym still. I'm going to be doing bench presses, arms, and everything that I can do. So I'm going to continue to beef up this this dad bod that I got here. So in any case, everyone, I just realized I wasn't on the full screen here anymore. So, So that's kind of the update, everyone. Like I said, um, we're going to remain positive about it. If I was to be perfectly honest to you, I'm scared in a lot of capacity because I didn't realize the extent of how big this blood clot actually is. So, um, so we just do what we can and try not to let it get to us. I'll be walking, exercising still. I'll still be on a path of trying to lower my body weight and everything, just because not now necessarily because I want to be lighter for state championships, but in life in general, I need to be a bit lighter, just for the sake of my health, because things were better in my body when I was a little bit leaner than I am right now. So. Okay, everyone, that's going to do it for me today. I do need to kind of get on with my work day, and I might be on Zwift later, just doing a short walking session, just so that I can at least start that, and we'll we'll get there, y'all. I'm not gonna quit. Yeti, thanks. I appreciate the concern and comments. We will get this thing figured out. We'll get it fixed. So in the meantime, we're just gonna keep it on the upside. We're gonna be positive. We're gonna think about all the good things that are going on in life, and we'll just manage this thing as we need to do. So. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for me today. Thanks for joining. That's the update. We will see you around on the next ones. Like I said, it should be a Zwift walking session here coming up soon. So we'll see y'all.